Welcome to Another Look, a film podcast where we go back and discuss a filmmaker's body of work, from their hits to their misses, as well as genres, eras, movements, and everything in between. On this week's episode, we are still talking about David Fincher. I'm Ian Killian.
I'm Jordan Mushno.
Ben Riley.
Nikolai Creekbaum.
We have our Russian
Russian bot.
our Russian bot in here. He's going to talk about Fincher with us. But we have a couple quick announcements. We have a correction. Last episode, I believe I said Brandon O'Neill probably didn't read the Brave New World book that I got him like 10 years ago. But in fact, he did.
That's good.
That's awesome. Maybe we can get him on here and he can talk about it.
I want to read that book. I
do want to read it too.
I don't even remember when we said that.
Yeah, it was just like an off, just me saying something stupid, but he told me. And then also last episode we talked about our co-host Squit being on this episode. He's not gonna be here. He has ammonia,
Or as he said,
Phenomena.
Yeah, phenomena.
He has phenomena or whatever he's telling us. But I think we'll be fine with that.
Yeah, I think we'll survive.
He gave about as much insight as I did.
He gave a movie a 4 and he hadn't even watched it.
Well, I just like Jordan. There was like a direct question. Jordan was like, "Did you watch it?" No.
Yeah.
The most real no. There was no hesitation.
I legitimately thought he at least saw one of them.
Well, yeah. I think we were mixed up in our communication when I was asked because he watched Zodiac. But he's sick, so he's not coming. What's up, guys? Did you watch anything worth talking about? I haven't been really watching much. I've
Neither.
been watching some TV shows.
He's pretty hyped
Nick's
there.
hyped.
Eyebrows are going
He's
up and
ready.
down.
He wants to talk. Well, did you guys talk about Monster Mania since you?
No, actually.
You guys want to talk about that at all?
Sure.
Anything interesting?
Real quick. Well, it was a completely
It was a clusterfuck.
disorganized mess. There were way over
They
capacity.
oversold the tickets for sure.
They almost had to shut it down completely. The fire marshal of Cherry Hill was in there twice and
With
said,
an axe, chopping.
yeah, people that had advanced tickets went out to their cars and couldn't get back in because it was at max capacity. Luckily, it didn't happen to us, or else I would have been fuming pissed because we went out to our car. But long story short, we waited in line to meet John Carpenter again, 3 hours total.
I did not.
Damn, you did not feeling it. You saw him enough.
Yeah, and we saw a Q&A with him. That was good enough.
That's cool. That'd be cool.
And waited in line for about 2 to meet Kane Hodder. But Kane Hodder,
He cut someone, right?
That was the night before.
Oh, yeah, the night before.
Wait, what?
Yes. The night before, somebody brought up. I have 2 funny stories quick to tell you.
Okay.
And they involve Kane Hodder. For the night before, somebody brought a legit machete in, which a lot of people do to get
Which one
signed.
is he?
I'm surprised
Kane
they
Hodder
allow
has
that.
played Jason the most. He's the guy that played him in
Okay.
7, 8, 9, and 10.
Okay.
Big, huge dude. He got burnt. I don't know if you've seen him before, I'm sure. But somebody brought a machete in for him to sign, and he was, I don't know what the fuck he was thinking, but he
Got into character.
His agent was beside him, who's also a stand-in for him in some movies, so he looks like him kind of. He's a big dude.
Big boy.
And he was joking around with the guy, and he accidentally sliced him on the arm, and blood squirted all over his merch table. This is a true story. And the guy had to be rushed out of the ballroom in an ambulance. He was there the next day, and he had his arm all bandaged up.
Yeah,
and
just some stitches.
they were joking around about it, and he joked around about it to me because he thought he asked what my name was, and I'm like, Nick, and he's like, Dick. And I'm like, no, I wasn't in the mood to fucking play around. I'm like,
It's his badge of
sign
honor,
my
you know?
shit and just let's move along here.
You said Donnie kind of egged him on.
Yeah, and then he's like, you're not a dick, are ya, or whatever.
Squid was telling me about he annoyed you or something.
Yeah, and I'm like, no. I'm like, some people might think I'm a dick or whatever. And then he's like, well, I'm a dick. And then he pointed to his friend's arm.
Yeah.
So anyway, whatever.
They shouldn't let people carry machetes in there.
Well, and then
It's really surprising that a guy that's known to kill people and wear a mask is annoying.
Yeah. Oh. Well, this is another hilarious. I was secretly inside dying, but I felt bad for the guy. Some guy had every single Jason signature on a legit machete. Again, that was in front of us in line. Okay, he even had Richard Brooker's signature, who's dead. He needed one more signature, and it was Kane Hodder. He brought a paint marker for him to use to sign on the machete. Kane Hodder fucked up, and it like messed up the machete. And the guy,
what do you mean? Like it
it
painted over other
it
signatures?
leaked and it
it
smeared.
covered the other.
Yeah, and the guy was like, you could tell the guy was like ready to
His
fucking
life was ruined.
flip shit because he spent all that time getting all those signatures, and Kane was like, can somebody help over here? It was so hilarious.
Just get some paint thinner.
Yeah, they figured it out, but my God, that guy was fucking pissed.
I mean,
Kane Hodder had a bad weekend.
Yeah, I was like,
that would suck.
Yeah. Taking all that time
And-
traveling all that
And
distance.
fans are always like, "Oh, do this. Oh, what about?"
oh
this? You know what I
yeah,
mean? They're
take
all-
pictures.
Yes, they're always like, so, like on movie 4 when you walked
Yeah.
over and touched her head. What does that mean?
Somebody
You
asked
know?
John Carpenter a really stupid question. He was just like, "What?"
You asked a question.
Yeah, I asked him a
What-
question.
What'd you ask?
He had already answered it
What's your
on a
fa- what-
podcast.
What do
but
you order
asked-
at Subway?
No, I asked him what were some modern. I accidentally fucked up because I
Favorite
got a little
modern horror
nervous.
movies?
Well, I wanted to say modern horror movies, and I forgot to say horror. So he just meant
said Darkest Hour.
was one that he liked.
Oh, really?
Oh, I mean that's a cool question though,
Yeah.
because I like his taste. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
I was interested
Yeah.
in knowing what he had to say
Yeah.
about
It's
it. But
it's fun because on Mick Garris, I think
Yeah.
that's where he was asked.
answered it.
But
Yeah.
he basically just says, "I watch stuff on demand." You
I
know?
meant to say
It's fun-
horror because I wanted to hear him say.
And I'm
like,
very curious about like old filmmakers, what they think of new
Yeah.
movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
exactly. But
Because some old guys are like, I don't really watch.
yeah,
They all seem to say they don't go to the movies.
Yeah,
They
He-
just
They're
they
lazy.
watch Amazon or
yeah.
He
yeah.
gave me some hope on this new Halloween movie. I know that he has something to do with it, so he probably had that incentive in his head to say positive
I'm
stuff.
very excited, but
Yeah,
the hype
I mean-
is kind of unreal.
He-
It's
that was the first question somebody
I
asked
think
him.
it's just because it's someone with like talent backing it.
it's
you
like
know?
real big fans too.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So
He also dropped something about a They Live remake, possibly.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He said that he confirmed.
I
it.
hadn't heard that.
did he say what movies he's going to score?
That's not surprising though.
because he's
No,
he's
not really.
scoring some movies this year.
He didn't specifically say besides Halloween.
Did
Yeah,
somebody
he's
ask him that?
Yeah, and they asked him how he was going to go about scoring Halloween, and he didn't.
It's
give
funny
that
on
info
the
either.
podcast.
keyboard?
He's like, I don't know.
Yeah, he didn't go. I actually don't think he scored it yet. Apparently,
Probably not.
but real quick, Ali Sheedy was there. That was kind of random.
Who's that?
She's on
Breakfast
Breakfast
Club.
Club.
Oh, yeah.
Randy Quaid
Wait.
dropped, and everybody was pissed.
No fucking duh.
I didn't give a shit.
Like a psychopath conspiracy guy.
Yeah. Bernie from Weekend at Bernie's was there, and I couldn't stop laughing at him because nobody went up to him in his line.
What's he look like? Doesn't he wear like a fish?
he looks
hat
good
and
for
have
his age.
glasses?
Squid told me
Yeah.
his line was long.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
He had some.
Yeah,
he had some
Squid
people.
When
told
we
me
were
his line
standing
was
in
long.
John Carpenter's line, no, he was just sitting there with his glasses on, sunglasses on,
That's how you recognize him.
Playing dead.
and it was so weird. The kids from It were like the biggest hits of the whole thing.
That doesn't surprise
That doesn't
me.
surprise me at all.
It doesn't surprise me, but like going up to a little fucking
Yeah, but
kid
a lot
and
of
just like,
teenagers were also going up. They were like
Yeah.
the Justin
It's
Bieber
like
of the
it
thing.
is the biggest horror movie of last year almost.
This movie probably outgrossed all these movies combined.
I know, but like I would just feel so stupid going up to like a young little kid in like middle school.
They have
and
no
being
idea
like,
what they're talking about.
The Stranger. They do that for the Stranger Things kids.
I
to
know.
Me, to me, it's no different than an old man.
I know. I don't know.
I hate little kids and old men.
What kid was the Stranger Things kid there? The one
No,
that's in
he
both?
wasn't there,
Okay.
and neither
No.
was the kid
Finn
that had
Wolfhard.
the cast. The kid that had the cast wasn't there either, but everybody else was.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a good time.
yeah.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Any cool? See any cool shit?
What'd you
Guys
pick up?
find anything cool?
Ben picked up some stuff.
Silence of the Lambs, Criterion. I finally
Good.
got that.
Cool.
Suspiria.
Cool.
I
Those
picked
are good.
I picked up Vinegar Syndrome, Prey, and what was the other one I picked up?
I don't remember.
I was going to buy The Strangers, which leads into what I was going to talk
Oh,
about.
okay.
But
'Cause,
what were you going to say?
Did Squid get like another The Office shirt?
He got
He-
Rawhead Rex.
He
too.
got
He got
Demon.
a bunch
he
of
got
shit.
Demon Wind. He
Yeah.
got Rawhead Rex, and
He got talked into buying some.
oh,
what
my
was that
God.
again?
He bought a bootleg
Battle
Royale.
Royale.
Oh,
we were
yeah.
like, why the fuck did you buy that?
I'm like, what
he's-
the fuck?
You need to watch him.
Yeah.
He'll
he-
get taken
he-
advantage
Yeah,
of.
Yeah, I'm
he
like,
got,
dude.
We walked away from him, and he came back with that. So
I'm like, dude,
someone
that's
talked him into
yeah.
it.
I'm like, dude, that's a bootleg, and he's like, nuh-uh. And I'm like,
Well, does the case look cool?
Not
It looks
really.
fake.
It's pixelated as hell.
Oh! I didn't know if it was like a bootleg and like special. You know what I mean?
No.
Someone did like a custom.
It
It's like
looks so
someone
fake.
printed it from their computer.
Oh, that stinks.
yeah.
I
How
thought
much did he pay?
Like 15.
Okay, at least it's not too bad.
Still.
Yeah,
still.
Yeah.
It's like
that
boy.
sucks.
Yeah, it's a good movie though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
It's also on Netflix.
Yeah,
You're just like, oh.
So yeah, so I've been watching what I watched the last season of Love. Yeah, so well, I guess I don't know what to. We had to pause it, and we're going back in it. So I was watching Love, and I liked it for the most part. I just really love those characters, and I love all the the supporting characters and those actors and those comedians. But it got the way that third season develops. It's like it doesn't. They're still it's playing back and forth of like will they or won't they, and
yeah, and I got sick of that
But-
when the second season started. I
Yeah.
do like everything though; it's just fun to watch.
and I think those experiences they go through are real. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And like they're respectful of like the people that are going through these situations. But I don't know. Like I thought the very end with them, with what they did, it was kind of stupid.
I don't even remember.
It
They-
kind of gets rushed to
Yeah.
a point.
Yeah, like
Oh,
maybe
the,
after another season with things
The
going.
Catalina stuff.
Yeah, I just
I agree.
I thought it was sweet, but at the end, I'm just like, okay, but and he doesn't even know about.
I was waiting for that to come up finally, and it never
She
did.
cheated on him, and he doesn't even know.
Oh yeah, that is funny. I forgot about that,
that
too.
whole thing has been just sort of like. whoosh.
They were sort of on a break, though, right?
I was more
No?
interested. I was more interested in the Birdie
Yeah, Birdie.
Yeah, that
and-
that was
stuff,
better.
yeah.
Birdie and
Yeah.
Mitch. Why did I
Yeah.
forget his name in the
stunt,
show?
stunt guy.
Oh, that guy's so cool.
Chris
yeah,
or whatever.
Chris, and then Mitch.
Randy.
Mike Mitchell.
Yeah, that
And
stuff
he's a
is.
loser.
He's so fucking funny. I feel so bad for him, but I also hate him so
Yeah,
much.
I agree.
Because he's just like, oh, like I don't know.
He doesn't try to do
No,
anything to
no.
make his life better.
exactly. But I don't know. It's worth a watch.
Such a
It's
sad,
short.
Sad sap.
You can pop it in, pop it out, but Nick has been waiting forever to
talk
talk
about-
about what do you want to talk about?
The strangers pray at night.
Or
Or is it pray by night? Or pray
Pray
at night?
at night.
What's so you liked it?
Oh, yeah. I fucking loved it.
I'm not hearing too much about it.
I loved it.
I loved
Jordan, did you like it?
I would say I liked it.
And you, Ben?
Yeah, I'm with Jordan.
And you didn't see it, Ian?
I haven't seen it.
Well, without getting spoilery, which I don't know if you give a fuck or not. We saw the first one together, didn't
You
we?
can get spoiled.
Yeah.
I don't really feel like it's
Yeah.
that spoilery of a movie, honestly.
I would be okay with stranger spoils.
Well, okay, the first one's atmosphere is completely different than this one.
Because I hardly remember. I just remember.
It's just screaming for 90 minutes. The first one.
Okay, yeah, running
just
from like
misery.
door to window
Yeah.
and being like,
It's just pure misery.
Yeah.
This one's not like that.
This one's a slasher, like a straight slasher.
okay,
It's more fun.
And they tried
Okay.
to give like a John Carpenter retro type feel to it. With the score and like some of the imagery.
it's better than the first one.
I thought so.
Yeah,
I
Like
fucking loved it.
Like you can tell it's not like it opens to like We're the Kids in America and it has like an 80s retro logo and stuff. You can tell it's not even going to feel like the first one.
Oh, wow.
Like from the
because the
from
other one was
get-go.
like mysterious and there was no like
Yeah,
No,
It was like
like-
more nihilistic.
yeah
the
no
first one
humor,
was.
See,
no humor.
I thought this one was meaner. I thought this one had a bigger mean streak to it because the fucking kills were so brutal.
I don't think so.
That's not really what I think of when I think of a mean streak anyway. Not like the how the kills are.
I mean, the first half, the characters are pretty dumb. I say the characters are pretty dumb the
Yeah,
whole
I didn't
time.
care about the characters really at all.
But
See, I did.
starting, there's this really awesome pool scene. It's really awesome. And
That's
from-
one of the scenes that reminded me of a Carpenter movie.
yeah, and from then on out, it's fun. Like when characters stop being idiots and start fighting back, because they're so stupid for a while.
So there's because I feel like the first strangers there was only 2 people and then like 3 people against them, so there wasn't.
There was that
There
one
wasn't
other
room-
guy that stops in
Oh,
or
okay,
whatever.
there
he
wasn't
gets
room
killed.
for many
Low
kills.
body count.
Yeah.
This one still has a low body count. I think that there's only 4 deaths in it
But
technically.
there's some police officers and stuff.
Oh, 5 deaths.
It's cool because the
6.
first one's just in a house, and this one's in a
Trailer
park.
Oh, okay.
A gated trailer park.
Ooh, fancy.
That's pretty much abandoned. And
Yeah,
that
it's
we
like,
know
It was
it's
like
out of
vacation
season
kind of thing.
It's like out of
Yeah.
season.
but if you like slasher movies, it was very refreshing.
Yeah.
I was
compared to the
surprised
movie.
to see all the people in like the Shockwaves group hating on it. I'm like,
Oh,
why-
did they?
Oh yeah. I'm like, why wouldn't you guys like everything? Why are you not liking this?
Oh, I didn't notice that. I'll definitely be picking it up. I want to see it again.
Cool. Yeah. Ben, did you see anything?
Yeah, I watched the new movie. It's a Netflix original. It's from the guys that do the Workaholics show.
Oh, yeah.
I just watched it. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was it felt like Workaholics. Like they had like different names and everything. I'm like, you guys are still like the same.
They
Like,
did. They could have been the same characters.
Yeah. They work at a hotel and there's some famous guy staying there, and basically he gets like a hostage situation, and then these 3 guys have to. It's like Die Hard with Workaholics.
Action comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Cool.
I mean, it's like Workaholics. It's like a 90-minute Workaholics episode.
That
Yeah.
one Workaholics guy's doing stand up at the Bryce Jordan Center. next
Which
month.
the
Adam Devine.
oh okay. So he's
he's-
the guy that's
At the Bryce Jordan Center, he's going to by
Yes.
himself.
that's crazy.
He's,
He
I mean,
has
he was
a-
in
he has
Pitch
an opener.
Perfect, and he
Yeah.
was.
That's
I mean,
funny.
he's been in
He
shit.
had that Netflix movie about Groundhog's Day.
He was in
but
that
for
Zac
dating or
Zac
something.
Efron movie that went
Oh,
big.
yep.
Mike and Dave or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Damn, that place is going to be thinned out.
Yeah, I might go. It's cheap.
Oh, that's cool.
He's funny.
Yeah, I think he's funny.
I never seen stand up. I kind of want to.
Kevin
Adam
Hart was
Devine's
funny.
a good one to
Yeah.
start with.
Yeah, I'd recommend it though if you like Workaholics.
Yeah.
What was this show called again?
Workaholics.
No.
Oh, no, it's a movie. It's called Game Over, Man.
okay.
I think
Okay, I did see you long
it's
ago.
new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jordan, did you talk about what
I
he's
don't-
nervous. He's
I don't
nervous.
You had
remember if I
time.
did.
He bumped his head.
Oh shit. My glasses were off. I'm sorry. I watched Last Days of Disco, the Whit
Oh,
Stillman
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
I have that Criterion box set, so
Yeah.
I wanted to pop that in. It feels just like every other Whit Stillman
Yeah.
movie, and that's
Talky.
kind of perfect.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny how different I kind of picture the disco era, and this movie takes place at the end of it in like the early 80s.
Okay.
And they're just like club managers and rich college kids, and it's funny because they're being called yuppies, and they're like, we're not fucking yuppies, we're like we're the opposite of it, and there's nothing more yuppie than like Whit Stillman characters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I thought it was very clever, very fun, great performances.
Yeah.
I think it's worth watching because it's, it really depicts a part of history that I was not aware of. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was cool.
Worth a watch. Nick, didn't you have a bunch of questions for Last Days of Disco? Didn't you? Or weren't you really interested?
Yeah, you have a notebook.
in it? Yeah, he has a
It's
couple.
kind of like a straightforhtard American Psycho without horror.
Yeah.
Eh.
So-
Nick's just he just bought it on.
Hang on a
on
second.
just bought it on eBay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna take a little break and then dive back into our Fincher Fest. That's what I'm calling it. 'cause-
Finchy Fest.
Finchy Fest. And what is on our list? What are we watching?
First, we will be talking about The Game. It was directed by David Fincher. It was written by John Brancato and Michael Ferris. It was released in 1997, and it stars Michael Douglas, Sean Penn, and Deborah Kara Unger. Plot synopsis is after a wealthy banker is given an opportunity to participate in a mysterious game, his life is turned upside down when he becomes unable to distinguish between the game and reality.
So I picked this. So, Nick, now you can't give me shit anymore that I don't like Michael Douglas. I picked this.
Well, did he?
You hate me for what was it? I didn't care
Black
for
Rain or something?
I like Black Rain, but I don't care for like Basic Instinct.
Oh, really?
And-
Shit, I didn't know that.
No, Fatal Attraction.
Yeah.
It's one of I always get him confused.
I do too.
And Nick always hates me for it.
Was this the era of him eating pussy where he got throat cancer, or was that after?
Well, was he with who's he with? I
was
don't
he
know.
with Zeta Jones then, or?
I'm not sure. I don't know his relationship statuses.
Oh,
But I think he's good in this.
yeah, he's
He-
fucking great.
You know, it's kind of making like it's that whole idea that we talked about in Gone Girl of like Fincher picking somebody that is like he picked Ben Affleck, sort of playing as like the bro-y husband, and
Yeah.
like Douglas is like this like douchey
Yeah.
CEO typically. You know what I mean?
He wants to torture rich people.
Yeah,
Like
he-
Gordon Gekko.
Yeah, this is like that.
He is Gordon Gekko.
Yeah, it's not far from that, you know. And I usually am not like attached to those people. I usually see that and I'm just like, eh. But I was, interested in Douglas's issues and troubles and what was real and what wasn't. I mean, I have seen this before, so I know the gist of it and I know where the strings are being pulled and stuff. But I don't know. I like Douglas in this, which there you go, Nick.
Good. He's great.
He looks cool. His hair was slicked back, and like there's that one where he's like wearing a turtleneck and like a leather jacket, and when he has like his nose broken or something, he looks fucking cool. He looks cool.
He's a badass.
I mean, this movie looks good.
Oh yeah.
Is this Harris Savides? I think.
I'm not sure.
But because I can look, but yeah, I think this is a good looking movie. Do you think this is like lesser Fincher? Like, people think this is lesser Fincher, maybe?
It's definitely one that people don't see as often,
Yeah.
even though it's a Criterion, which you would think. I don't know.
Which
that
would
might be why it's Criterion.
Yeah, it hasn't been getting noticed enough, and they push it through.
Yeah, probably lesser Fincher.
But
It's not a bad thing.
No.
Yeah, because his bar is pretty high.
Oh, I think so too. I'm not. I think this might be just like a hard era for movies to be remembered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Remembered, maybe. Like I don't know.
and the plot. The plot is cool, but it's pretty silly too.
Well, and it's like it's not like yeah. There's nothing like heavy going on.
Yeah.
You know, it's straightforward. Not straightforward, but
His movie right before this was Seven, and what was after this?
Fight Club, probably.
Fight Club.
it's Harris Savides. Yeah, who did like Birth and
Okay.
Zodiac and stuff like that. So he did Zodiac, I think.
Yeah, Cronenworth or whatever that guy. I think that's his name. Is the one that started like maybe Benjamin Button, but definitely
okay.
Social Network, and that's why those movies have been like that.
Yeah.
Digital.
Yeah.
Because he started. We'll talk about that in the next movie, but I think that's when he was diving into the more. Well, I guess he was using CGI more for like Zodiac and stuff. Yeah.
Would you guys play this game?
No.
Oh, I
Fuck
wrote
no.
that down. I don't know if I was a.
Not to this level. I'd play something a little more mild, maybe.
Not when you don't know anything about it.
Yeah, like I would have to. I wouldn't sign up for anything.
I don't get how a game like this could even work.
No. Yeah.
Can you imagine the insurance?
Yeah.
required?
Exactly.
Like. I definitely wouldn't go off a fucking taxi in the river. I do not like that shit. I hate rising water and stuff.
There's so many times when he could have and would have died in a real
He was getting
situation
shot
where
at.
I'm like, is this really?
They were blanks, and there was someone watching the car.
Yeah.
So, but still.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I don't know.
Like even that fall, like if you hit one of those bars,
Or
like
they cut. I guess the glass was breakthrough.
fake, yeah.
But
They're
still.
like, you could still cut yourself
Yeah.
when he's like lying there. I'm like, how could you throw a guy a party after he jumped off that? He's gonna have like a heart attack.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, also mentally, he was going to kill himself, survive
Exactly.
and then
And
his
he's
whole
like,
family's
okay.
like, "Hey,
Yeah.
I think it's. I don't know.
I still really like the movie, but the end has always kind of bugged me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You think it's just a twist to be a twist?
I get that. I'm sure it was the idea the entire way through. Like, I don't see them making this movie without having this ending, but it just like fucks with you so much, and I'm like, this is all they want to get out of it. It's not worth it. You know what I mean? To go to such an extent for a birthday surprise.
Yeah.
I hear there's this documentary on Netflix now about a similar. It's basically supposedly a reality show where they force someone.
The Push.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
And it just sounds like a very ugly.
Yeah, it's horrible.
mean-spirited thing.
They trick this guy into like having someone killed, and it's all set up, and this guy's going through this fucking like.
And they decide they want to see. They like put the question on. This guy's going to ruin this like charity.
Yeah.
He's gonna not do his donation. So they like try to convince this guy with peer pressure to kill this other guy.
Yeah.
And apparently at the end. I didn't watch it, but apparently what they do is I'm just going to spoil it because I think it sounds
That's fine.
stupid, but they show this guy who went through it and he doesn't do it. He doesn't push him.
Okay.
And they're like, "Wow, humanity's great." But then they show like a montage of other people who did it and they all pushed him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's so fucked up.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, it's manipulative. It's obvious it's got to be fake. I don't believe it's
Oh,
real.
you think the whole experiment itself is rigged?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I think the guy's in on it, you know?
Well, because that guy's like an illusionist or something, and,
Yeah.
and is known to do like these pushing social experiments,
Yeah.
or like these like boundary pushing social experiments and stuff. I don't know.
Why would I kill somebody because they're going to withdraw their money from a charity? Like,
You could do
Yeah.
heavier
exactly.
a heavier story, but I mean, people do like the blackout haunted houses
Yeah.
where it's like signing up for PTSD. Like
Yeah.
they strap you down. They make you eat like gross things and you throw up, and like they like fake water torture you and like
Yeah.
strip you naked and like have people sit on you and like all this weird stuff. And Nick's typing on his.
He's
He
like,
just
"What?"
bought 2 tickets.
Well, in those, you're signing it, so you know it's fake, but still.
Well, that's what Michael Douglas. Well, he didn't even know
yeah,
what
but
it was.
they told him it was like canceled at that point in the beginning. So then he's like,
That
"What?"
He couldn't get in.
Yeah.
Which I like. Which I thought that was cool. But no, but people. There's also like games like that where you can like fake kidnap and stuff, and like
Yeah.
and
they are and he
that.
knows that this is a game too, but he doesn't know what it is.
Yeah.
And he's willing to like
Yeah.
undergo psych tests, psych exams, like a physical.
yeah.
Like who the fuck who would get a physical for something that they don't know? It's like doing an escape room and they're like, "Okay, do you want to
Take your whole day.
take yeah."
Yeah.
Is this what Game Night was based on?
Well, it's the
I
same
mean,
idea.
a
I
much
guess.
smaller scale.
And
Yeah.
more in like comedy, right?
Yeah.
Well, I do think this is pretty funny. I was surprised how I didn't remember it being as like
I don't
it's
want to
dry
game
humor.
night, yeah.
It's a dry humor.
No,
but
I do. This movie has so much atmosphere. It's
Yeah.
very exciting to watch, but I would hope that it just all being a joke, that it was set up to steal his money rather, you know what I mean? Because
Like
you
the
wanna
part where that happens.
Yeah,
you
because
want-
they think
yeah.
it's a con. You think it's a con for a while.
And that
I
makes
want it to be
sense.
I want
Yeah.
it to be a con.
Okay.
It makes more sense. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because this guy's he's almost a billionaire. He has
Yeah.
$700 million.
yeah.
And he's signing access to everything he has, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, away, not having lawyers look at this. It just, the setup, it's just the end that is a little frustrating, but everything else I do really like. I think it's a great movie.
Well, I don't have an issue with that little twist at the end. The thing at the end I don't like is that him like talking to that girl and be like, "You want to get coffee?" You know what I mean? Like,
Oh my God. Yeah. I watched.
that's how the movie literally ends, and I'm just like, really? Like, technically she's working. You know what I mean? Like,
And the other
why
re-
is she interested?
She's like, I got another game in Australia.
Yeah.
Why would you ever trust her?
yeah. She was in
I
on it
watched
the whole
the
time.
alternate ending on the Criterion, and it's just like him walking out of the party and like walking away as the
Okay.
camera like pulls out. But I'm like, this guy did all this to leave this party after 2 minutes. You know what I mean? I'm like, come on.
I like that one more. He's still a grumpy guy or something.
Yeah.
But this kind of reminded me of like Total Recall, of like just like the whole like satire of like, well, I guess Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't like a rich guy, but like, like a getaway, but like it being like dangerous and like
Yeah. I think I do love the idea. I don't know why the end kind of frustrates me so much. I do, but it's just like, I think it's because
it's like-
it can't live up to what we just went through.
Yeah, it's like peak ridiculous. too,
Exactly. Exactly.
like there is something about like an inflatable like safety thing in like a nice dining. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
kind of funny, but like I understand. It's kind of just weak.
I kind of
Yeah.
wish too that maybe Sean Penn's character would have happened to him. You
Yeah.
know, because I don't know. That's another twist where like the game, like they
It's-
think the game is over, but Michael Douglas fucks the game up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that is
then
cool.
it's still part of the game.
Yeah,
at the
like
end.
he breaks the mold and like
Yeah.
goes to their base and stuff like that. And I thought that's super sick. Sees all the actors there like having lunch and stuff. And like there's no real drama.
Well, what do you think? What about the drama in that part when he's like, "Do you want to split the bill?" and he shows it to him, and he's like, "Oh my God!"
Oh,
At the
Yeah,
very end.
why would he pay for that?
Yeah, I know.
Don't split the bill.
Plus of all, Sean Penn is like a shithead, like
Yeah.
bum,
Yeah.
and he's like paying for this. Like,
Yeah.
what the?
yeah, like I think that's what the issue is, and that's probably also why it's not as like talked about. Is like there's no real drama, there's no real
Yeah, it's all-
consequences because it is fake, and I guess it's kind of talking about like movies itself. It's like a breakdown of like film itself, and I think that's super interesting.
Right. I don't know that he learns because it's all fake. Does he really learn a lesson about his life?
Because we don't get enough time with him at the end.
Exactly.
To, like,
he just laughs it off, and I'm sure he's gonna go back to the office the next day and fuck people over.
Yeah, fire people and do insider trading or something. But I did like the little. Do you see the Spike Jonze cameo? He's one of the paramedics. He's like,
hey, go over there. Get over there.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah,
but
I don't think I noticed. I
But-
did kind of like. You didn't do this on purpose, but both these movies are San Francisco.
oh,
It's just kind of.
Ooh.
It's coincidence, but
nope,
it's cool.
Nope, I did that on purpose. I just,
Planning a trip.
that's cool. I do like that setting. Everything was like, I think it was night for like 4 days straight that in San Francisco because it's always night there. But yeah, I like this movie. I'm not sure I forget what I gave it originally. But does anybody have any ratings or any?
I would still give it a 4 because it's just a great experience.
Yeah, it's fun.
I don't feel like it earns it, but watching it, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of forget how, like in the Fincher's early movies, how like he's like the M. Night Shyamalan of like that time. Like
Yeah.
Seven has a twist, this
Yep.
has a twist, Fight Club has a twist.
Yeah, that's
he was
true.
that was like his thing for a little while.
And they all have like the same feeling of like rated R, like crime things,
Adult thriller.
Yeah.
yeah, I would give it a 4 too. It's not one of my favorites of his, but it's good.
I think I'm in that boat too. 4.
I'd probably give it about a 3.5.
Yeah, just
But did you guys see the fact that Jodie Foster was going to play Sean Penn's
Really?
character, and Douglas didn't want that.
Yeah.
And so
girl.
she sued him. She sued, I guess, and got like 5.2 million or something.
Really?
Jeez, sued
Yeah.
him or just sued like the
Sued
studio?
sued the
Well, she
studio. I
worked
was
with
just reading.
Fincher eventually, so
Yeah,
I guess
I don't
that
know
didn't-
why.
is
I
good.
don't know why you can sue someone because you didn't get cast in a movie.
Well, apparently
unless she was
the
cast.
deal
I
was
don't know.
done. Foster
Okay, so
sued
they broke
Polygram.
contract.
Yeah.
Wait, actually, not 5.4, 54.5 million.
Why?
That's like more than the movie probably made
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
cost.
I don't
And
know.
what's Michael Douglas care?
Well,
He didn't care. Well,
he got
s-
paid.
he said that he thought that it wouldn't make sense for her to play his daughter.
Oh, it was a daughter. I thought it was like a sister or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think Sean Penn makes sense in this movie.
yeah.
I think he's good.
He's good, and like he's like 3 scenes, but it works.
Do you like him more in this or the Gunman?
I don't even fucking.
don't know
Why
what
would Why would anybody ever talk about that movie?
Nick would. He probably bought it.
I do.
Okay, but yeah. So you gave it 3.5.
Yeah.
We could have been all 4s, dude.
I know. I like it. I just kind of for what you guys are saying. It's like almost all for nothing at the end.
Yeah,
it just
it kind of kills the
Yeah.
because you could do. I mean, it would be hard to maybe wrangle it around to make it feel real, but I don't know. Give us a little bit more character or something at the end, but I don't know. I think the taxi
would've
scene
died.
is brilliant. I think the set pieces are super fun to watch,
Right.
and yeah, it works overall. Maybe seeing it as like what I said earlier, like a breakdown of like film watch or movie going and stuff. But
The only thing I think they could have done, and maybe I would have liked the end more, is if it was a party and he actually started killing people or he killed himself for real.
oh, that would
You know
be
what I
good.
mean?
Yeah.
Because then there would be, it would speak negatively of this kind of experiment.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Which I think you should,
Yeah.
because it's fucked up.
I also wrote it's nice to know you can get a gun in a zoo because he brought that gun and he's pointing at that fucking guy and
Yeah.
stuff.
Commercial guy.
Yeah.
Howard Shore's score for this was really good. I thought it was like piano pretty
Yeah,
much almost
yeah.
the whole
Pretty
time.
minimalist, but
And-
it's good.
Oh yeah, and another like thing that hits it for me is like there's those notes of his dad, like that those memories of and flashbacks of his dad committing suicide, and it's just sort of like it's not done. There's nothing really going on with it other than he jumps at the end. That's kind of mirroring it, but like
But which would have more effect if he actually killed himself?
yeah, there's just not enough there for that emotional core.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah. But I definitely recommend it if you like Fincher, if you like Douglas, or if you like the games. If you like playing games. Well,
Saw movies.
You know that fucking game of like, it's stuff like kids in high school did, or like like if you bring up the game or if you think
Oh,
of the
yeah.
game that you lose, and
Yeah.
I it's so frustrating to me. I don't fucking like it.
4chan nerd type shit.
Yeah. So, we're gonna take a little break and not think of the game.
You lost.
Fuck. And what are we talking about?
We are talking about Zodiac. It was directed by David Fincher. It was written by James Vanderbilt and based on a novel by Robert Graysmith. It was released in 2007 and it stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Robert Downey Jr., and Mark Ruffalo. The plot synopsis is, in the late 1960s, early 1970s, a San Francisco cartoonist becomes an amateur detective obsessed with tracking down the Zodiac killer, an unidentified individual who terrorizes Northern California with a killing spree.
Nick, do it.
Zodiac.
I think this is probably the main reason why I picked Fincher for this month. This is just like the peak Fincher, the ultimate Fincher. It's just, it's about killers. There's like a time period. There's
Procedural.
It's a procedural. People are doing research and working, and there's violence and
Good cast.
there's a good cast he can work with, and I don't know. I think this is his best movie.
It's in my top for sure.
Yeah, I think I like all of them. Even people complain about Alien 3, but I think I like it. But I don't know. I think this is my favorite Fincher.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'd have to watch some other ones again, like The Social Network.
Yeah.
I really love.
Yeah.
But
Me too.
I don't know if it would. I haven't seen it in a while.
And aren't you known online as Tyler Durden? Don't you talk about that?
First rule about Fight Club.
Yeah. But no, I love this movie. It makes me want to read about the
Oh, yeah.
Zodiac.
I
It
have
makes
this
me
book, but
Do you?
I haven't read it.
After the movie, I instantly started looking up like how realistic this movie is, or like not realistic, but like what? Give me the facts.
Well,
I
they
started
reopened
doing-
the case, didn't they?
after this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that they did.
Yeah.
And I think some like a couple of these places never closed it that are in this movie.
Yeah.
And I love. Now I don't know. There's people who say that Graysmith is an idiot.
I
and
hear
there's-
that, yeah.
and there's people who. But I read the current interviews, and he seems to back himself up pretty well.
Yeah.
He obviously knows a lot, and he dug in. He might want to
So
believe what he wants. You know what I mean?
So do you think it's Lee?
I mean, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But
He's dead, right?
he was going to get arrested.
Yeah.
He's definitely the best suspect they have.
So, but like,
If
okay.
who was that guy at the end? The actor Jimmy, the guy who was he's the first victim.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He went to Bloomsburg University.
Oh, the
But-
guy from Westworld.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's in like
Isn't he in Boy Meets World?
No, the original Minkus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the one that gets shot in the beginning,
yeah,
but his character is that guy later.
but that guy's from Bloomsburg.
he went to Bloomsburg University.
Oh, okay, because he's like in Always Sunny Philadelphia.
yeah. He's not from Bloomsburg. He just went to school there.
Oh, okay.
Who knows why?
Yeah.
But
He's a husky.
yeah, I heard him on Leonard Maltin's podcast.
Oh,
and he
okay.
talked about it. But I think if he points him out in a lineup like
yeah.
that, if that scene is real, why wouldn't it? That guy would have been convicted.
Yeah.
You know
Seemed
what
like
I mean?
all the evidence was leading there.
Yeah, if that stuff is real, I don't see how you can say it wasn't him.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't him.
Well, I'm pretty sure too, the way Fincher lays it out, pretty much every time the Zodiac is there, like, I mean, he's in shadow, but he seems like Lee. Like, he kind of sounds
Yeah.
like it, he kind of looks like it, but it's also done in a way where you're still like,
Well,
not sure.
They did you hear about how they shot those scenes?
No.
He used a different actor each time
really?
because it's like different perspective of the people. You know what I mean? Which is
Yeah.
cool. I
Makes
think that's-
sense.
Yeah.
And
But
you know,
he's built like him. You know what I mean? He keeps him at a distance.
Like
usually.
when he throws the baby out of the car, to me that seems just like him.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
the thing is I think that these could be different people.
Yeah.
You know
like
what I mean?
copycats.
Exactly, and I think that's what's so
Now,
interesting.
Do you think in this day and age, this could happen again? Like,
I think our science is there
Yeah.
to prevent
Because
it.
I think this is probably towards the end of that where like you can get away with these like random.
Yeah, they did. They could do. They didn't have DNA tests, but they
Yeah.
could test saliva
Yeah.
and blood and stuff. They said one of the real life things that is they said Lee's DNA did not test
Yeah,
positive
yeah.
for it, but Robert Graysmith said that it obviously wasn't preserved properly and all these other things. So maybe
The
that's not
technology
true.
was like not.
Yeah, they weren't. They
Yeah.
weren't prepping the
Yeah.
evidence for this kind of test.
And like it was driving me crazy. Like in the beginning when they're like looking at the letters, everybody in that room is touching the letter. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? They can't fingerprint that. You know what I mean?
Exactly. They're not thinking about it on that level. or
Forensic
scale.
level.
Yeah, forensic
Exactly.
scale,
And
yeah.
why would they?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just super interesting. I like. I mean, people do get away with like crazy things, but it ends usually.
I don't think it could happen because just think about the Austin bomber.
Yeah, I
You know
that's
what I mean?
exactly what popped into my
And
head.
this
Yeah,
guy,
they found him pretty couple weeks.
yeah,
the main difference is you could not get detected by you could trace it back to a mailbox.
yeah,
But you could never see who put it in that mailbox.
yeah,
And there are street mailboxes. You don't have to go into a post office or FedEx store like the Austin bomber did.
yeah.
But
That's fucking crazy. That's
Yeah.
scary, crazy stuff. Nick, were you
Yeah,
scared?
you get a lot of mail.
Were you fucking scared?
The scene that fucking scared me.
do you know what the Austin bomber is?
What?
No, we're talking about this guy in Austin recently that was blowing people
Serial
up,
bomber.
was blowing people up through the mail.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck. Well, my packages
in
are all
Te-
kept at the post office.
It was
so
in
I'd be-
Texas anyway,
Oh.
but still.
Ooh, an arrow DV.
Yeah. That scene though in this movie that's creepy as hell is, I think, probably the scene that everybody else agrees.
The basement?
Well, that scene's very, very tense, but when they're at
murder,
the picnic,
the stab, where they're
Yeah.
yeah.
just that image of him just like in the tree,
in the
and-
daylight.
in the full
and-
get up.
yeah.
It
It's
does make me
almost-
laugh because it's not funny, but like there's like a far shot.
Yeah.
And, like he doesn't have the mask on, and he goes behind a tree and he puts the mask on, and he says like he just comes up to them. I don't think he even says anything, but has a gun, and they're just like, oh, okay, here's our wallets, here's our keys, and then oh man, and then he goes like. That whole thing where he's like, "Was it even loaded?" Sounds fucked up, but I love that shot of him like
Showing it.
showing that those
Yeah.
bullets. It's terrifying. It's fucking terrifying.
I think that's a good scene that also details the setting because I don't think people would be so like, oh, he's just some
Yeah.
guy. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? They're not super concerned. One girl's kind of concerned, and the other's like, whatever. But people weren't scared of their neighbors.
Oh, are you talking about like the first kill when she's like, "It's just some guy."
I'm talking about the
Oh.
I guess they're all at kind of parks. This one? It's by like the lake where they're laying
yeah,
down.
yeah,
The stabbing
Yep,
one.
yep,
Yeah.
Yep.
But they do that is really interesting though because the first with Minkus in the car.
Yeah, Mingus.
Hell yeah.
She is afraid of him, and she knows, and that evidence is interesting too because she knows who it was, and that's how they tie it to a guy named Lee that we don't know if
Yeah.
it's the same Lee. I love that aspect.
Yeah,
Where is she?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where is that girl? They never find her.
Yeah.
Let's say let's say the Zodiac was actually John Carroll Lynch.
Mhm.
It's interesting because he played Twisty the Clown, right? And doesn't Twisty the Clown, his first kill on American Horror Story is in the daylight, kind of in an exact same setting, like they're at a
Yeah.
picnic.
Yeah.
They're like almost exactly the same.
Yeah, there's something about that shit happening in the daylight that's scary too because you feel like in the daytime you're safe
Yeah.
and
Does he play Drew
Clearly
Carey's
not.
brother too?
Who?
Probably.
He
he
plays who?
might. Drew
He's a good
Carey's
actor.
brother.
Oh yeah, he does. He does. And
In
he's in
Fargo.
Fargo, and yeah, I like him a lot. He's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
He's so good in this. He's just staring off, and he has this like scary.
Yeah, there's definitely something. If he's
The
not the
wa-
Zodiac, there's
Yeah.
something still wrong with him.
I mean, the watch,
yeah,
what's in his trailer.
yeah.
It's obvious that it's pointing at him.
His like past like issues, you
and
know.
even though I think the creepiest scene is the basement one with the guy
Yeah.
and the posters.
But that guy, he's just
He's just-
paranoid though.
and that guy's just,
Exactly,
yeah, and
exactly.
You just see it from his perspective, and it's so perfect.
Yeah.
he's not afraid of admitting that he wrote made those shitty
Oh
posters.
no, yeah,
You know, he's just like, Of course, I know because I made them. You know what I mean?
But that
It's-
reveal is so good.
Exactly.
You
you don't have basements in
the
California.
The scene like the camera like backs out and you're just like, oh, and then he does it focuses on Jake Gyllenhaal's face and the guy walks over and turns the light on and it like shadows on like his face.
Yeah.
Like, in the background, it's so good.
Now, do you guys, because the way he behaves after like Jake Gyllenhaal leaves, it's kind of almost like he's like humored by it. Do you think that's more like Fincher, like kind of poking at
like playing,
or do you think that guy would really be like think it's funny that he's so scared of him,
or that could be? I think that guy could be just a
weirdo,
creepo, weirdo that works at a movie theater. But yeah, that scene's so good, and it just like blows my mind though that like it's just been that whole it spans 10 years or so. You know, I don't know.
It's crazy. It never was solved.
Yeah, it creeps me out when I think about it.
It's almost like he died when he was getting arrested, just like Lee Harvey Oswald. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or-
So it's unsolved. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And he may have been convicted. He may not have been. Who knows? You know. But I don't know. I that Tosky guy died recently too.
Yeah.
The
Mark Ruffalo's character.
exactly. He was great.
I was. Well, there's that unsolved murder from around here. Kim Hubbard,
Yeah.
unsolved.
I'm
I
sure
know.
which
Every
one
now
that is.
every now and then it was right down Sylvandale, I think.
Yeah.
Every
In, like,
just,
the 80s.
just like right down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every now and then we run something about somebody writes a book about it and we run something in the paper and everybody gets mad.
Didn't like
Yeah.
a dentist kill his wife around here too? I remember
And he wrote a book about it. It was in Loyalsock.
Was that like a Dr. Death thing?
No,
Like,
he
was
like
he-
Killed
shot
his wife.
Killed
He
his
just shot
wife.
her? Okay.
And he made it look like someone randomly.
like they shot from outside.
Yeah,
that kind
yeah,
of thing.
yep,
Okay.
yeah.
I thought Downey Jr. stole the show in this movie. I thought he was the best performance.
I
Yeah.
do think it's interesting. I don't think he's the best, but I do think it's interesting how people don't give this credit for his comeback.
Yeah.
You
It
know
was
what
a
I
year
mean?
before Iron Man.
Exactly. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this is better than fucking Iron Man.
People like saying throw a little hot
Hot Rod Red in there, yeah. What's it the year before?
2007.
Okay, so let's talk about
Iron Man's
2007. Such a good fucking year. Juno, No Country for Old Men, There Will Be Blood, Ratatouille, Superbad, Zodiac, Into the Wild, Knocked Up, The Bourne Ultimatum, Eastern Promises, Assassination of Jesse James, Atonement, Gone Baby Gone, Michael Clayton, Sunshine, American Gangster, 310 to Yuma, the Diving Bell and the Butterfly, Hot Fuzz, Sweeney Todd, Grindhouse, Simpsons movie.
Graduating high school.
Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. Yeah, Ian graduating high school.
I saw this movie by myself in the theater, I remember, and like,
It came out in like
we were in
February.
high school.
yeah.
Darjeeling, The Mist. Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh yeah,
That's crazy.
best movie year.
And this got overshadowed because I don't feel like this
Yeah.
came
got
out
as
so
much.
early.
Yeah.
And the best picture nominees were Michael Clayton, Juno, No Country, There Will Be Blood, and Atonement.
Yep.
And only one movie in there doesn't belong. That's fucking Juno.
I disagree,
Juno.
but I could put a lot of other movies in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Like Assassination is so good.
Exactly, and no one gave that any credit.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt won Best Actor at Venice, but Casey Affleck was nominated at the Oscars, I think.
Okay.
And No Country, people didn't like that when didn't love it when it premiered at Cannes, and
Yeah.
then they changed it.
Well, I don't like that movie because they silenced the shotgun or something like that.
What they change? Did they change something from that movie?
I don't know. They might have changed a couple things. It might have been rough. I don't remember. Oh, The Class maybe won. No, not The Class. I can't remember what won Palme d'Or that year.
I
But
don't know.
It was a great fucking year. Atonement was winning all the precursors, and then
Yeah.
No Country for Old Men won Best Picture.
Yeah, no, people got a fucking clue.
I think
That
that's like
movie's
the,
great.
Picked
the,
No
I
most,
love
Country.
Atonement, so
the most like recent best year.
I think it's the best year of my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Movie wise.
Yeah, you're just so proud of me graduating.
But I
high
saw all
school.
that stuff in 2008. You know, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, I
Not
remember.
There Will Be Blood.
Yeah, I saw that in 2008.
Oh, did you? Truck didn't get there.
I still saw it that same day.
Oh, did you?
The truck eventually got there.
You saw what's the assassination movie?
Assassination of Jesse
No,
James?
the multiple views of
Fucks.
Vantage
Point.
Vantage Point. I know.
Oh
I know.
my
You saw
God.
that.
So I went there. It was a snow day.
Yeah. Yep.
Truck crashed. And I'm like, what the fuck? I couldn't see it.
Truck crash that was delivering the print of There Will Be Blood.
Exactly. So they're like, you can watch one thing right now. You know the spiel. We've given it a million times. So I watched Vantage Point, and then I came back later that night to watch There Will Be Blood. And I think that is like a defining moment in my life for movies.
Yeah.
And
You were
a couple months later or a month later, I saw it with Ian at the Community Arts Center.
And a bunch of old people laughed at the end.
Yeah, because you were supposed to see it with me, Ian, and then something happened, and I had to see that together.
I worked.
I remember seeing No Country for the first time when it was in theaters when it was already out on Blu-ray.
What?
Yeah, I saw a re-release.
I saw it in theaters.
Yeah, well, The Great Escape got it for 2 days in December, and then they got it back when it won Best Picture.
2 days they only had it?
It was like because there was like Wednesday releases because of Christmas.
That's hilarious because I went to see it. I saw it the first day it came in at The Great Escape.
I'm sure you did.
That's random.
And I was at the West Side.
That's fine.
Yeah, so I saw it. Yeah, it was like maybe it was more. Maybe it was like 4, but it wasn't a full week because you get like 10 movies for Christmas every year.
Yeah,
and they got rid of it, but it was amazing.
I know we didn't really dive too hard in the movie, but I'm gonna give this thing a 5. I love this movie.
I'll give it a 5 too. I think I love it too. I do love it. I have no issues.
It's so long, but it
goes by really
it's so
fast.
watchable. You know, it really like sucks you in, and like
it makes me want to read the that new Patton Oswalt's wife book about Golden State Killer because it's like kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be really good.
Yeah, I kind of want to pick that up.
Yeah. What about you, Ben?
I am also on the 5 train.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 4.
Nick is a little downer today.
You only
What's
like
up,
Robert
dude?
Downey Jr. because he drinks too much, just like you.
He rules in it.
He's good. I think I like Jake Gyllenhaal. Okay, Mark Ruffalo is doing like. I like him, but his voice is so funny, and he's doing like this like Godfather like.
That's who Steve McQueen's character is based off of, in Bullet. The look.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He has the thing on the side,
the
with
holster.
the thing in the side. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like also to compare that because this is like different than Gone Girl, but it also is like with media obsession. It was just like in a completely different time though. Like it wasn't so much like news channels, even though that news scene is cool with
they use
Brian Cox. I like that.
Yeah.
It does bring up a lot of interesting subjects about the relationship between the media and the public, and
it is wild. Like a couple 2 years after it happened, there's a
more
Clint Eastwood movie. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And that is happening more in our era. Like we're used to that now
Yeah.
of like
back
a
then.
9/11 movie or something. You know?
Yeah.
But that was
Wait, what Clint Eastwood movie?
Dirty Harry.
Harry.
Oh, you meant like after the actual
Yeah.
event.
But
Like
it is
Scorpio
it is
or
funny you
whatever.
say
Scorpio
that
Killer.
because Clint Eastwood also does movies basing things off of
Real things.
recent
yeah.
tragedies and stuff.
American Sniper.
Yeah. So that's his whole fucking card now. Sully, what's
15, 17.
I just wanted
Whatever.
Nick to say that there's
13
he
to
was
blah blah.
just like random
Fucking
numbers.
Garbage movie.
But
I think Mindhunter is kind of the thing that's most like this now.
Oh, yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
serialized.
I
but
watched
yeah.
the first episode last night actually. I watched it when it first came out, but I wasn't in the TV mood, and now I am. And
I
I'm
really
gonna-
like Mindhunter.
I'm gonna swallow it up. I'm gonna watch it a lot. So, and it's still going, right? It's not.
Yeah, they
It's-
made one season. I think they're
They're
making
shooting
a
the
new-
second season
Okay,
right now
cool.
in
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Before we wrap it up, like what about David Fincher? Like what made you want to pick David Fincher?
His last name.
Yeah, I like his last name a lot.
I mean, David Lynch is like probably my favorite, but he's not so active. So
Yeah.
I'd say Fincher is probably one of my favorite active directors.
just-
Who you get most excited
Yeah.
about?
Yeah,
content
I just love how he works. You know what I mean? And like he's kind of not like an underdog, but he's not like he's. I think he's like, okay, this sounds stupid, but like he's not. He's like. When you think like directors or people, most people think directors, they're thinking like Spielberg or these like these big names, and like he's sort of like under that. I don't
High
know.
quality, but not.
Yeah. And he's prolific. He has a bunch of movies.
I think he's like the big name that doesn't make the big movies.
Yeah, and
you know
like-
what I mean.
and
I
they're
think
like adult-
Besides Curious Case, that was
Adult
his big movie.
blockbusters. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
exactly.
just like click in with me, and I I love what
And
he
they
does.
don't make movies like his a lot,
No,
really.
and he has that. There's that look and of his style, and people can try to do what he's doing, but it's never to that extent. And like he makes, I don't know, like I love that genre of like crime and detective stuff, and like he's making it his own.
This
And-
sounds weird, but I think he's almost like a more acceptable, not acceptable, but more for everyone version. I can't think of the word that would say that. Of Steven Soderbergh.
yeah,
You know what I mean? 'Cause
Yeah,
More
he's also-
accessible.
Yeah,
It-
thank you.
It's like
He's
you know,
also like a formalist, but they're more entertaining
Yeah.
and they're more kind of
and they both have that like love of cinema too.
exactly
that, like,
exactly.
There's these directors that like that really shines through. Like
Yeah.
Del
And you can see
Toro,
him doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soderbergh, Fincher, yeah, and like
I am nervous about his forthcoming output because it seems to gear more towards big properties.
Fincher.
Yeah,
'Cause
like
he's doing-
World War Z 2.
You think that'll happen? Because I mean, well, the past couple years he was there was like that 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea he almost did.
and that stuff. I mean, I think that could be amazing.
Yeah.
Nothing against that, but even Gone Girl, you could have said that was because that was
Yeah.
a big book.
Well,
but it
he's
was-
like a director for hire because he doesn't write his own stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
But like he also likes to be in control.
Yeah.
So that's I think also why he's like branching off into like things like House of Cards and Mindhunter, because he can do
Netflix lets him do what
he
he
can
wants.
do these long form things. And,
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
what's Zodiac too? Apparently the actors were not prepared for like his style because
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. didn't really get along with him that well, from what I've read. Jake Gyllenhaal was like, with all the takes, was like, "Why am I doing this wrong?" Like,
Yeah.
they didn't realize how he works.
Yeah, because he does like 50 takes for each
One
shot.
scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal seems one of those very overly prepared type of guys, so he's
Yeah.
probably not used to.
Am I doing it wrong?
Yeah.
That works for
Fucking-
Graysmith though, because that guy is
Yeah.
wound up tight.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm excited for whatever he touches. you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's why I picked him.
Nick, what are you picking?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
yours.
Chloe
It's-
Savini. Wait, Chloe Savini was what's his face's wife, right?
Yep.
In that movie.
What's his face?
She was also in Last Days of Disco.
Was she?
Yes, and Vincent Gallo has been in the news.
Oh,
I saw
And-
I did want to talk about that. Maybe we'll talk
Do
about
it at the
yeah,
beginning
yeah,
next.
we can talk
Okay.
about it because that made me laugh.
Brown Bunny.
Yeah.
You
but-
only watched that scene on Pornhub though.
What? I didn't even watch it on there. I just saw the image.
But okay, well, he was asking you, what are you picking for next month?
Oh.
Yeah. What brought Chloe Savini up?
You're like sleepwalking.
I don't know. This next month is called Spite Month. With Jorg Buttergreed.
You didn't learn how to say his
Greed.
name? Let's find
Jorg
out.
Buttergrit.
It's Jorg
Jorg Butgerrit.
Butgrid. He directed Necromantic 1, Necromantic 2, Der Todesking, The Death King, and Shram. And we're going to watch Shram and Der Todesking, The Death King, next time. And they're definitely not fun for the whole family. Matter of fact, I told my girlfriend to stay in the other room when I
Yeah,
watched.
she probably would have dumped your ass if she had
Yeah.
walked out.
I laugh. All right, we'll talk about it next episode. But
Yeah. All right. Well, you can get us on Facebook. You can email us at anotherlookpod@gmail.com.
Rate, review, and subscribe on
And, yeah.
iTunes,
Yep.
please. That helps us
Subscribe.
get more listeners.
Yep. Thanks for listening.